5 things everyone thought I was crazy for when I told them I was going to turn an empty cargo trailer into my tiny home on wheels. And if you're like me and you're thinking about doing this lifestyle, I think your friends and family might think you're a bit crazy at times. But you know what? I just ignored them and I just went with it and I love it. So let's go over the 5 things that everyone thought I was crazy for. And starting off with number 1, and that's the build itself. I cannot even count how many times everyone told me just to buy something that was already pre-built, because I have never built anything like this before. Before building this, I pretty much only had experience with a drill gun. So cutting the wood, using the saws, all of those things were brand new to me. And I remember when I first got the empty cargo trailer and I stopped at my uncle's house to borrow the tools, he took a look inside. I'll never forget the look on his face, because he works in construction and he knew how difficult it was going to be. He really tried to encourage me to buy pre-built furniture. And while I thought that would be great, even if it did cost a little bit of money, I spent 2 weeks measuring and remeasuring, trying to find things that would fit. I just couldn't find anything that would fit perfectly. But you know what? I surprised everyone with my build and it all worked out in the end. And number 2 on the list is when I tell them that I frequently, and I mean frequently, sleep in Walmart parking lots. And you know what? Honestly, my first couple times, I also thought I was a bit crazy. But after living and traveling this tiny home for 8 months, sleeping in countless Walmart parking lots, I am now super comfortable with it. And I don't think there's anything weird about it at all. Because usually about 10 o'clock, a lot of RVs pull in there, a lot of families and things, and it feels pretty comfortable. There are definitely going to be some cities that have Walmarts that you definitely don't want to sleep in. But you know what? I've avoided those, and there's plenty of nice Walmarts out there. And stepping on inside, this brings me to the 3rd thing that everything thought I was crazy for, and it's when I told them that I wanted to turn this wall into a giant TV. Nobody, not even my wife, thought it was necessary to have such a big TV in a small space. But you know what? I really wanted this to feel like a home. And I don't know, just for me, I think the bigger the TV, the better. And yeah, I did want the TV to go from edge to edge. And this TV is 43 inches, and I got it on sale. If I wanted to get the 50-inch TV that would have been almost edge to edge, it would have cost about double the price. And that's just a little bit too crazy for me. And I'm super happy that I didn't listen to anyone, because I use my TV every day, and I think it's the highlight of my trailer. And the 4th thing that my friends and family think I'm crazy for is that we actually spent a couple months of winter camping in this. We finished the build into February in SoCal. It took us 2 days across the border into Canada, and there we spent about 2 to 3 months of what I consider winter camping. Sure, you Canadians think it's not that serious, but there was snow, there was freezing temperatures, the door froze shut before, and I think by a normal person's standards, it was winter camping. And honestly, there were nights where I thought I was pretty crazy too. And not related to living in that tiny home, but my wife did break her ankle in April, and she was still able to live in here just fine. It was super uncomfortable because she had a broken ankle, but now she's all healed up and everything worked out. And the 5th thing that everyone thinks I'm crazy for when living this kind of lifestyle is that I never really have a plan. I do have like a general outline of what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, but often there'll be a couple months where there's no plan at all. And that makes it really hard for my friends and family want to meet up and see me. Because you know, I am trying to save money, and sometimes I'll drive 4 to 5 hours to a spot, and the spot's so great that I wind up staying out there for weeks. And when my friends and family always ask, what am I doing out there? Like, I'm not doing much of anything. But when you're trying to budget things and travel around, fuel is really expensive. And sometimes I just don't want to spend the money, so I'll just stay at a spot for a while. And while having no plan seems pretty nice at times, I kind of wish I myself even knew what the plan was. Because having no plan does lead to days on days on days of pretty much doing nothing. And I don't think that that's really good for the mind at all. And there you have it. Those are the 5 top things that everyone thinks I'm crazy for with building out this and doing this lifestyle. If you like my content, please support me by giving me a thumbs up. It really helps the YouTube algorithm push my videos out there more. And also follow along, because we're going to be traveling through Arizona, California, possibly doing a new build, a bigger one, and going back up to Canada in March. And let everyone know in the comment section below what your friends and family think you're crazy for. And I guess that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.